Now, Ibrahim Traore people are critical of Ibrahim Traore's relationship with Russia. But I'm like, who are you to be angry with him being friends with Russia? Oh, Russia has committed atrocities. Yeah, but you're America. You really want to talk about atrocities? Do you really? That's like a crackhead on the street with no teeth, with a crack pipe in his hand, looking at you and saying, hey, don't drink Coca-Cola. The sugar is bad for you. Shut up. Hey, what's going on? It's me, Nabil, and I know. So this is Nabil Knows, and we are going to delve into the last couple of weeks of news and just see how messed up the world is. Still very entertaining, because as you know, the world, the news, it's theatre. And Eurovision is now back. You know that annual competition where singers from Europe dress up like bisexual Power Rangers and sing about world peace whilst bombing somebody else's country back home. And I mean, just to hammer the point in, Austria won and Israel came second. We were this close to having a Eurovision happening in Tel Aviv because Israel was neck and neck with Austria. Now, I think it's a good thing that Israel lost. Not because we don't like the state or the country. No, not that. But I mean, we don't want to have Eurovisions there. They have enough atrocities happening over there. Why should they be responsible for one more? That would just be too much. You know, genocide and Eurovision? Come on, man. Ukraine is back at the peace talks table, which basically means, hey, let's all meet up, pretend to care, and then give them more weapons when nobody's looking. But just Ukraine, not Palestine, because Ukraine really needs them, but the Palestinians are okay. Rocks get past Iron Dome easy. So the UK met the EU for talks recently. It was very civil. You know, a lot like a guy whose wife cheated on him and then they divorced and then he bumps into her again and has to pretend that he's doing fine. But he's not. He just sits in the car listening to Coldplay. Nobody said. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we go back to the man of the moment, Ibrahim Traore. What a lot of people don't realize is that Burkina Faso is not alone. There are other presidents in the Sahelic regions. The Sahel is a part of West Africa. If you cut a line across, it's predominantly Muslim, right? Ibrahim Traore is representative of Burkina Faso. But remember, Mali, Niger, these countries had their own. It's a bit like the Arab Spring, but the difference is with less chaos. And these regions will become very powerful if they can unite. Northern Nigeria technically is Sahelic as well. Senegal, a similar culture. If the presidents of if that chunk of countries in West Africa unites, that is a huge thing for West Africa. If they can create their own currency, and I mean, it's mad. Francophone countries are trading in francs. Even France doesn't use francs. Explain that to me. Explain that to me. Is that not madness? We look back at the history of that region. We look back at the history of these Francophone African countries, and it's been bloodshed and pillaging, and the French taking advantage of it. Can you blame these people for getting angry? Now, Ibrahim Traore people are critical of Ibrahim Traore's relationship with Russia. But I'm like, who are you to be angry with him being friends with Russia? Oh, Russia has committed atrocities. Yeah, but you're America. You really want to talk about atrocities? Do you really? That's like a crackhead on the street with no teeth, with a crack pipe in his hand, looking at you and saying, hey, don't drink Coca-Cola. The sugar is bad for you. Shut up. Yeah? How many? They put the intertribal warfare between white people that's going on between Ukraine and Russia to one side. From an African perspective, what do Africans care about that? Russia never invaded any country in Africa. 1. 2. Russia consistently armed African countries in their struggle against oppressors. The Russians armed the Ethiopians against Italy, for example. I'm not saying the Russians are saints. I'm not saying they're the best people. But as an American, you don't have the right to complain about somebody aligning themselves with Russia. You don't. Who's helping them? America's checkbook always comes with a cost. Military bases, occupations, destabilizations. Look at how many presidents in Africa, including the region we're talking about. Look at Thomas Sankara. They paid Thomas Sankara's best friend to kill him. Then you want to look at someone like Patrice Lumumba. Patrice Lumumba. Again, the CIA and the Belgian government were responsible for not only killing this man, but burning him, then melting what was burnt with acid and using the fat to grow plants, and they still have his gold teeth. And Belgium has only kind of said, oh, yeah, well, my bad. Recently for doing that. And you want to blame African countries for wanting to split off European countries that are not Russia. The other thing is, Ibrahim Traore has given a speech, and he's talked about the things that he's been accused of. First of all, they're saying he's mismanaging the gold reserve of Burkina Faso. They didn't have one until he became president. So how can he mismanage it? They're the ones that found it. People are calling this man a threat. The man just created his own electric car. They just made their own electric car in Burkina Faso. And they didn't need Nazi boy to do it either. So it's okay if a Nazi makes an electric car. He profits directly from the sweat and blood and tears of innocent kids in Africa. But when Ibrahim Traore does it safely and brings jobs to his country, you have a problem. Ibrahim Traore said it best. He said it's very hurtful for him to hear what's been said about him and how countries like America, was it General Langley, can make things up about him. But he said that what makes it hurt him the most is that America keeps using black people to do it. They used Obama to destroy Libya, and now they want to use him to destroy Burkina Faso. Tell us, go back to your countries. Go back to your countries. Do you think I want to be here? Do you think I like being a second-class citizen? We would love to go home and stop bothering you guys. We would. Honestly, how can we do that if you don't stop killing our presidents and replacing them with puppets, stealing our money, putting the money in Swiss bank accounts? How do you expect us to do that? How can you hate on migrants coming into the UK, but many of you flee to Spain, Australia, UAE because of minor things like, oh, things are a bit expensive. Oh, I can't buy a house. Oh, okay, my house got vaporized by a bomb. There's a militia in control of my village. My whole family got exterminated in front of me. You don't think that's a good enough reason for someone to leave their country? How can you be comfortable with governments that take your taxes and wipe out people by the thousand, creating refugee crises with your taxes? When you support them doing that, where do you think those people who survive the situations your tax money is creating are going to go? And then people say, oh yeah, but how come so many people from French-speaking African countries go to France? Well, you tell me, asshole. If my whole life I've been raised speaking French because my country was colonized by France, and then all the French-speaking countries around me in Africa do not have opportunities because the French are stealing resources from my country, bombing my country, killing our presidents, taking money and resources from our country and taking them to France. And my education is completely in French. And I want to live a stable life. Where do you think I'm going to go? What are my options? My options are French-speaking countries. Not because I like you, but because of the system you have created, these are the only countries I can survive in. Same thing, if you're Nigerian, you were colonized by the British. You speak English. Your education is in English. Where are you going to go for opportunities when the person ruling your country is a puppet to the Brits and the Americans? You're going to go where the language you speak and the education you've been forced to have is valid. So you're going to go to these countries. It's not that hard to figure out. Chris Brown has been arrested again. This guy is now officially part of the UK culture. This guy is as British as Love Island. All he needs now is a Turkish hair transplant and fake teeth, and he's good to go. Nah, man, Chris Brown is talented. It's just a shame that, he's like an evil bastard because the boy can dance. He has his vocals. Like, listen, Chris Brown can outdance Usher. Chris Brown is the only one of these modern R&B guys that I say is a better performer than Michael Jackson. Have you seen that guy perform? Wow. Cocaine is one hell of a drug. This motherfucker is doing triple backflips, landing on one hand, doing a head spin, while singing and not missing a note. Rihanna had no chance. This guy would have been the biggest R&B star. He would have saved the R&B genre. But then that unfortunate incident happened in the car where he had to defend himself against Rihanna. Hey, Chris Brown has a right to defend himself.
Again and again.
And again and again. There's a rumor that Joe Biden might have cancer, which is sad. But to be fair, the man is 145 years old. He's probably got amnesia, the bubonic plague, influenza virus. His running mate, he's got seasonal presidency. At this point, his running mate should be a defibrillator. What the fuck? The man is old. Old. If you cut him, he bleeds powder. Old. Joe Biden is so old that he can remember films where Samuel L. Jackson looked middle-aged. That's how old. Joe Biden is so old. He remembers when Morgan Freeman had black hair. That's how old Joe Biden is. That's really old. The Nigerian Federation Cup kicked off recently, and it's more rigged than Nigerian elections. Hopefully this one ends in more goals than bribery. Indian YouTuber has been caught in Pakistan for spying. He's now in court for espionage. In Pakistan as an Indian. Man, Pakistani court isn't even fair for Pakistanis. And you, you absolute fudu, you allowed yourself to get caught. Anything for the algorithm, man. He was doing a YouTube drama. Okay. YouTube drama. I swear some people are brave, I thought white people were crazy. Right now in Pakistan, that's where you want to go and be spying. Can you imagine him in court? But sir, how can I spy? So the AMVCA Awards in Niger, the 2025 AMVCA Awards kicked off. It was amazing. It's a lot like the BET Awards minus the twerking and side-eye and possible fights backstage. All of Nollywood turned up as if they were auditioning for Rich Nigerian Auntie's Endgame. It was amazing. So, P. Diddy, man, there is so much to unpack. I'm just glad Cassie was able to pack her bags first to leave and then begin to unpack. There's people out here saying things like, oh, why didn't she leave? Man, she was married to or in a relationship with a whole billionaire mogul that had half of New York on lock. All you guys saying, why didn't she leave? Some of your sisters are still crying about unemployed poets and waste men. Hey, let's be honest, this wasn't a relationship. She didn't date P. Diddy, she survived him. This was captivity, but it was a deluxe flavor, you know? Trapped in a Maybach with background dancers saying, you fuck, you fuck, you fuck, you fuck, you fuck, you fuck. Suge Knight was right, but at the end of the day, this is the one video where P. Diddy wasn't all in the video, all dancing. He was in the background going, yeah, that's right, yeah, that's right, that's right, take that, can't stop, won't stop.
And one other thing I'd like to say, any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, and don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the video, all on the record, dancing, come to Death Row.
I shouldn't be making jokes about this, but it's my job. It's messed up though. Now we're just not sure of how to view Cassie. Like, is she Ghislaine Maxwell or is she a victim? The message is coming out talking about how she was like, oh my God, I was thinking the same thing too. And they're trying to say that this means she was enjoying it. You guys obviously don't know what it's like to be in a relationship. Oh my God, I was thinking the same thing too does not mean anything. That's like saying because someone typed LOL, they actually found something funny. I have news for you, bro. She doesn't think you're funny. She just had nothing else to say. Hence, LOL, hoping you'd stop typing. That is not evidence that Cassie enjoyed what she was doing. I mean, it's not evidence that she didn't. We'll never know the truth. Only they really know the ins and outs of everything. To be honest, we can't even say that because apparently there is so much footage. It's mad. I think we need P. Diddy. Right now, morality is in a decay. Society is decaying. The churches are getting empty. P. Diddy sends people to God. We need to just take P. Diddy to different neighborhoods, every Sodom and Gomorrah, and he will show them the... And within days, you will see people running back to church, running back to the mosque, because when you see the devil, you know for a fact that God exists. I wonder if they're going to put P. Diddy and R. Kelly in the same jail. Because if they do, that mixtape they're going to make is going to be sick. Have like a reunion. They finally get their hands on Russell Simmons from Def Jam. Finally get Mary J. Blige for, that young boy. We haven't forgotten about that, Mary. Next is Jay-Z. By the time we get Jay-Z, Mary J. Blige, R. Kelly, P. Diddy, all in one jail, woo! That album's gonna be fire. That'll be the remix of Ignition. And here's the thing, guys. It's not just P. Diddy. It's a whole system. This black excellence culture that we have we need to stop being blinded by glitz and glamour. Do you think Russell Simmons is in Bali now on holiday? Nah, fam. He's doing yoga in exile. In truth, Cassie didn't just expose P. Diddy. She exposed an entire system, a network of cover-ups. The NDAs, the brand management, all that stuff, the loyalty that these record companies have to these big, powerful moguls. That's what was exposed. People saying that, oh, Cassie was just a gold digger. Fam, she got the gold. What she wanted back was her soul. Recently, a few of you were upset about me for talking about what's happening between India and Pakistan, predominantly Indians, and I don't know what your beef is. Sorry. I mean, absolutely no disrespect. But let's be real, man. What's been happening, there's only so much you can push a country there. Look, I'm Nigerian. I call out Nigeria's bullshit all the time. I don't understand what it is about certain countries, certain nationalities, and your obsession with acting like your countries are infallible. If Nigeria did something dumb tomorrow, I would talk about it. It just so happens that Nigeria doesn't invade its neighbors. I mean, we couldn't even if we tried. Why would we want to invade Benin? Fuck. What's in Benin? Who are we gonna get from Ghana? Eggs? Come on. You see? You can just joke about each other. Why does it have to end with death with you guys? Anyway, here we go. Because, India bombed Pakistan and Pakistan responded like a younger sibling with receipts like, yeah, fuck you. I've got bombs too. India was ahead and Pakistan came back with a leveler. It literally is like watching a cricket game. If cricket was faster paced and a bit more explosive. Maybe that's how cricket should be played, with missiles. Because that's such a boring sport. Say what you want about Pakistan, yeah? But at least when they clap back, they don't blame it on black people, woke culture, Palestine like what India has been doing in their media. Like what? We have enough problems. Why are you bringing us into this? We didn't do anything. We're like, what? Fuck me. Why fuck me? Fuck you. To be honest, what's happened here, because like India has agreed to a ceasefire apparently, this just shows you the difference between the situation between Israel and Palestine and India and Pakistan, even though it's funny how similar the names of both countries are. Because Palestinians don't really have the capacity to do anything, right? Whereas in this situation, Pakistan does, and they panchoed will. In fact, they did. They fired back. Apparently they hit only buildings, didn't kill any civilians, according to the news sources I have seen. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But it's funny how quickly the big, powerful country with Western backing is prepared to discuss peace when the smaller country has enough weapons to do damage. You've got nukes, Pakistan has got nukes. You've got missiles and air force and army, Pakistan has the same. Isn't it funny how all of a sudden India doesn't feel the need to completely invade and carpet bomb like we see with Israel and Palestine? This just shows you it's not about revenge, it's not about just retaliation, it's about being a bully. And it's harder to bully someone who can fight back. My big brother, he's a bodybuilder, and he said to me, I'll never be the biggest guy, but if I get so big and strong, even guys who are bigger and stronger than me will pick on me because they'll be like, it's not worth it, I'll still get a black eye. And that's exactly what Pakistan has done to India. Now, I'm not biased, I'm just calling it like it is, but still, Pakistan's in the bad. Well, guys, that was Nabil Knows. Who knows? I might not be here in 2 weeks with all the shit that I'm saying. So, like, subscribe, save the videos, share them. If you want to rip them and put them on your YouTube, on your Instagram, tag me. That's fine. But get the word out there, man. Get the word out there. And I'll see you again soon. 2 weeks to be precise. Hey guys, as you may or may not know, I am currently on tour. You can still catch me on the final days of this leg of the tour. More dates to be announced shortly. But for more information, go to nabilabdulrashid.com. That's nabilabdulrashid.com. That's me.com. More dates to be announced soon in the UK and international dates too, rude boy. Let's just hope that immigration lets me through. Because there was that one time with the incident with the gloves. Yeah. Anyway, don't stay here. Go to the website, buy tickets now.